good morning. You guys hear me in YouTube land? Please let me know. Don't think we're streaming yet. Anybody hear me? Thank you, NGO. I'll be back in a minute.
Fitch Rating says European corporates 2026 outlook is neutral as environment stabilizes.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, foreign cryptocurrencies. This risk may be substantial and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial stability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategy, chat, websites, and investigating websites are digital tools for educational purposes only and should not be used to express or provide personal guarantees that you will not protect by specific and any whatsoever. Users of information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment and wholesale system trading, LLC, associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without information. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results are certain and limitations. Some traders are hearing. No representation is being made of independent companies likely to achieve profits results similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical and simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One limitation to hypothetical performance results is that they are generally greater to benefit in hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risks, and no hypothetical trading requires completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or appear to a particular trading program is like trading losses material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades are not actually executed, the hypothetical results may not or overcompensate for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to markets in general or to implementation of any specific trading program which do not fully account for in simulated trading or in preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
Normally, despite external pressure, to approach collaboration to
Good morning.
has his own agenda, his own goals, whereas we focus on ours. We have posted our US factory orders report.
All right. So a couple of these markets in important areas as far as structure thesis. I'm currently short NASDAQ Bark Lick. So I'll be going on this webinar. I'll be going over my various trading strategies where I look for the most important thing in futures trading, in my opinion, the most powerful edge I've ever seen. Stop iceberg events. This enhanced data from the CME that shows us with 100% accuracy the stop runs, which is usually dumb money puking, meaning retail traders puking, and icebergs, which is usually the big money putting in their orders, hiding their orders in the order book until they're filled because they can't put them in there because these algos will run away from the order. So, meaning any big order, you can see this order book right now in NASDAQ, right? If someone comes in and puts like a 500 lot in here, these algos will front run them and make them chase the order, and then they put in all the offers. They get this 500 lot chases the orders. These algos get filled, and then it comes right back. So that's why these big firms, you don't have to be a big firm, but it costs more to use iceberg orders, so that's why they use them. And it's very important to know where they're happening. That, you know, the big money's not always right. When you see an iceberg order, they're right more than they're wrong, just because they're the big money and they can keep putting them in until the market relents. But it's just very important information because those areas are areas of concentrated traders, and we take advantage of the move out of there and back to it, actually. So right now I'm working, I am short strategy Bark, which is, so everything I'm showing you here strategy wise, again, they're looking for these volume events in important areas. So these trading strategies, and we'll have a course on this, we'll go over this stuff, but I'm looking for volume events, stop iceberg events in these important areas. Well, the Bark trade blind, meaning it doesn't even have to be in an important area just because the edge is inherent in this activity in its own right. So I still want to take advantage of it. And they're all over the place, but I demand a certain pattern for that trade. So I need to see, so this chart looks like there's a million things on it. It's very simplistic once you understand what you're looking at. This is the zone drawing tool that draws this this data. You can't see it right here because I have this price change I'll go on. We'll go over that too. That's an incredible little feature from Bookmap Market Pulse. We'll go over that. Anyway, this was a stop run earlier. Actually, it didn't even fire off full threshold for me. I had to draw this manually. But the room had it, so I drew this. So the pattern that I look for this is that the market can move an ATR out. That's the blue line. That's the current average true range. That's very, very important. It's one of the most important things you can look at. It's showing you the current volatility of the market. So the two things that matter in trading are volume and volatility, right? I don't care what lines you have on your chart. They don't mean much unless you understand these volume events and the current volatility. So anyway, this means this is a 5-minute ATR. While there's ATR, I mean it's rotating about 5 minutes, or that right now it's about 36, almost 37 points every 5 minutes, right? So it's just telling you how volatile the market is right now. So the blue line is the ATR. So how I judge these volume events is if the market can push the full ATR out of the zone, it tells me whether it's the tendency is to be bearish or bullish, right? So this stop event formed, push the ATR out. This is the pattern where it retests the zone. We have a trade for this as well. For the one, it's more of a scalp where you're in and out, but it tagged the ATR back to the zone. You're out. We'll go over that. I actually have that one working right here if that happens. But anyway, the position trade I have on is bar click ATR retest confirm. I got short there. So my stop. So this is part of the zone drawing tool as well. It tells you where you get in if you want to get in a short. So I enter just outside of an ATR because I know from watching a million of these things, propensity for these algos to snap the thing back at the ATR. So if I'm going to get short, I force the market to push just outside of an ATR. That's 115% of an ATR. And then if I enter there, my stop's all the way over here. And this position sizing tool, part of the zone drawing tool, tells me exactly how much I can put on. So I'm risking $400 a trade on this account. It tells me exactly what I can put on to risk $400. So if I'm shorting here and I'm stopping here, that sizing will tell me if I'm wrong. I'm losing $400. This is the most important things that the traders could do. Most traders overtrade their account as far as sizing, right? And it's great when you're doing well, but you're going to have a bad day. And if you're overtrading your account, you will blow out your account. It's 100% eventually. So follow your risk rules at all times. Anyway, so I did ATR retest confirm, and my stop was up here. The way I trail my stops is I trail to the most recent event. So now I can trail my stop to here for the trade I put on off of this guy, right? I just filled on this reversion trade. So my stop's already in for that here. We'll go over this in a second. So I'm short two strategies now. Reversion trades are, again, more in and out. Let's see what the hero's doing here. So I'm jumping from thing to thing, guys, right? So I get all the time. It's like drinking from a fire hose watching these webinars. I'm trading multiple markets, multiple strategies. Once you understand what you're looking at, it all slows down. But if you're new in here, your head's probably gonna be spinning today. We did have a flow alert here, so that's not good for my shorts because the options flow runs everything these days, pretty much. So anyway, I have a reversion trade on here. So reversion trade is the closest thing to a scalp, effective way to scalp that I know of. And again, I used to be one of the biggest scalpers on the planet back, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right? So I was in and out all day long. So again, traders contact me all the time about scalping off this dome, the depth of market order book. It's not possible by hand anymore to be consistent with it because, again, I was one of the best in the world at one time. I'm not as fast as a computer, right? That's what knocked me out of the game. So trying to trade this is pretty futile, right? You're just, and on top of that, as a retail trader, you're getting churned in commissions as well. So it's just, again, if it was a feasible way to trade, hold on, I'm going to probably, I hate even leaving orders in here because the market senses them and they run away, even on the micros. It's just stupid. It's not just my order either. Whoever's trading these strategies, there's a bunch of orders here and it picks it up and it runs away. That's exactly what I was telling you guys about the iceberg orders, right? So there's a big lot of orders here. These algos see it and then they run it away. So other people are using my strategies with the zone drawing tool. So it sucks because it comes real close and then it zips away and it's real annoying. I'm going to get one here just because it's going to really bother me. And I'm sacrificing for the team here. All right, there we go. All right, out of that trade. So that is the best thing to a scalp that I know how to trade in these markets these days, right? So again, here is the one ATR. Tagged it, came back. Why did I take this? So you can take these ATR trades aggressively, meaning as the market moves into them, right? They happen all day. I mean, I can already point out, like, let's see, crude happened. I didn't get filled on this one, which was really annoying at the time. You can see my order right there, and of course it doesn't fill it and comes back to the zone, but it did tag it. So once it retests, I'm done with it. So and then it did it again, of course, but I didn't get filled. That sucked. But here's one. There's another one that worked. There's There's another one that I mean, I can show them all day long, right? So the issue is, it's not an issue. The 1 and the 2 worked here. You might have been stopped out of the 1, but the 2 worked. So, the issue is you got to decide if you're going to trade aggressive ATRs, you've got to take them. You got to take every one, or it's random trading, right? I cannot, especially on webinars, there's no way I can take aggressive as it moves into these ATRs. What I will take are A+ reversion. What are A+ reversions? So it's a different variation. So you can see here in the trading strategies, here's your ATR trades. I actually don't have the aggressive entry on here, but we have the A+, where the reversion trade is before into the prior. I should have this worded wrong. As long as the entry is before or into the prior event, right? So here's your entry, here's the prior event. Could be right before it or in it, as long as the stop is outside of it. And I need to delete this before I get filled on it. Why is that? Well, these work anyway, right? On their own. They're even better, aka A+, if you have pockets of trap traders that want out as it comes back, right? So the stop run, somebody was in here in the order book buying and it swept right through them. So what are they thinking? Oh no, the guys that didn't puke after they got run over, they're praying it comes back. When it comes back to that area, it turns around and makes another wave down because the guys that are holding their breath want out as it comes back. So that's why it's A+. These work anyway because these algos love to snap this thing back. And it's even better when you have pockets of trap traders that want out. It helps it even more. So A+. And then we have the back in black reversion. Back in black is when it tags an important area. So these are GEX levels, Mentor Q GEX levels. We'll go over this. And these are the spot gamma GEX levels, gamma levels. Very, 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 very important. Again, this option, 0 day to expiration options flow is the name of the game these days, right? It's just complete manipulation. They load up the options dealers and the dealers have to come into the futures and hedge themselves. So you need to know where these levels are for targets, for different trades, right? So what I was getting at, you can take back in blacks where you wait to see if this area holds where these dealers are hedging themselves, right? And then you take the corresponding ATRs back to the zone. So we have different ways to enter these ATR trades. So everything I'm going over today is all in this flip book, and I'll post this in the YouTube channel. All right, everything I'm using, here's my trading courses. We'll go over all this stuff. But this is the reversion trade that I'm talking about. And then the zone drawing tools in here too. Where's that? Right there. So what I'm showing you, just click on that. And actually Bookmap's got an incredible, ridiculous, in my opinion, December sale for the entire month. Everything's half off. So if you guys want to get this is the time to get it. So basic just gives you the ATR and the zone. Pro gives you all these reversion lines. It gives you the position sizing and the reversion lines and where the stops are. So again, all you're looking at here is the volume event, the ATR, that's the blue. The yellow is the entry for longs, stops for shorts, or entry for shorts, stops for longs. Then you got the reversion trade. So you got 1 ATR, the 2 ATR, the 3 ATR. Then you have the 1 ATR stop, the 2 ATR stop, and then 3 ATR stops up here. Right, that's all you're looking at. Again, it looks like there's a million things on this chart. There is, but it's not complicated once you know what you're looking at. Hold on, someone in my room just texted me. What am I doing wrong? Got the 1 ATR, but was hoping for the FBB shorts to 0. Yeah, this is so that was a quick explanation. It wasn't very quick, but of what I'm doing here. So I was going to trade. These markets this market's in a very important area as far as structure is concerned. One of the best trades in position trading. Fail, balance, breakout, right? So it tried to break out. What's balance? Balance is just two-sided trade where traders are placing bets. Well, this happened over days, right? So this is what happens here is very important. Tried to break out, right? All the shorts, mainly all the longs thought they had it. Now it's back. If you're long in here, longer term, what are you thinking right now? Like, I thought we were going to the moon again, like it always does. And now we're back. I got to get ready to get out of this trade. So that causes the best trade in trading called the failed balance breakout or a breakdown when it happens this way. I can show you a million of them, and it's the best trade in trading. So I was going to take it. This is right. So how you judge that is if it gets to the high volume node of a balance area. What's high volume node? It's just the middle of a balance area where most of the trade occurs. It's like the point of control in market profile, right? So we look at these market profile charts. So this is more an exact price and market profile. But this is just showing you for the most price traded. And this is just like a statistical, whatever you call that you learn in college, right? It's just where the most trade occurred, point of control, right? So in the balance areas, it's just the high volume node is just kind of the same. It is not an exact price. It's just you have to more eyeball it, right? But it's just like the middle of the balance area. You can see that's where it's trying to hold right now. If this breaks, I'm ready to fire on this thing. I've been told there's some buy ice. So I've not been getting a lot of events here, something with my computer. So that's a great thing about my room, right? If everyone's sharing and like we're our own trading desk, no one misses anything. So someone just, my mini me Dune Runner, he's the teacher's pet of the room, just told me we had buy ice. So you can see it coming in here. And it's not drawing. So the zone drawing tool will draw only on specific thresholds, meaning I don't trade every blip of this stop iceberg indicator. It's got to be a meaningful amount. How do I know the meaningful amount? Because I've watched 5 million of these things over my career, over the last 8 years. And you can see here all these different products. These are the thresholds for the different products, right? So Russell is 150. So if I don't get a concentrated event of 150, it's not going to draw, but you can still draw them manually with this tool too. So you can see there's 3 blips here of basically 100 each. You had 126, 99, another 89. So you got to be watching your market in case it doesn't, Bookmap Bob will let you know if it draws on the subchart or if the subchart hits the value that you have it set for. That's over here. If you go to the subchart stuff, right? Iceberg alerts, you can enable text voice. So if it hits 150, Bookmap Bob, we call him, will announce there's an event. And then it'll also draw on its own the stop iceberg event, like I was showing you NASDAQ. Neither one of those happened because none of these hit the threshold, but it's still an important area. It's still a threshold area. They just came in because I have this on reset mode too. So this resets for icebergs every minute. So just because it did this and then back this doesn't mean the iceberg stopped coming in. It just means at the minute mark it does that. I just like to see it that way. There's different modes you can put this in, right? So you can see here if I put it on sliding, and I used to have it on sliding a long time ago, but there was a bug and then I just went away from it and I've stayed on reset. But if you go over here and you hit sliding, to watch how this changes down here. See that? So that shows you as one iceberg coming in, right? So I just like it on, it's easier to draw the zones manually too on reset mode, but you got to be aware, like I wouldn't have seen this if I wasn't told to look at it. So you just got to be aware if you're whatever market you're watching, you got to keep an eye on it in case there's back-to-back events that cut off. Reset. All right, so let's try to draw this. Dune Runner, if you want to throw that in and make it easier for me so I'm not sitting here trying to draw the zone manually. But so this is what you do if you got the zone drawing tool. So you go and you see where this thing spikes. And I teach this in the SI course as well. All right, see that bubble right there? See how it started to spike up? There's another spike. So that means they were selling. You see these market sell bubbles, right? Well, they were selling into icebergs. So these are hidden orders that aren't triggered once they trade into it, right? So I'm going to start this buy iceberg here. So for the zone drawing tool, you hold the F1. It's F1 through F4. F1's buy ice. Hold it down, left click, and then release the, F1, left click again, and then release the F1. So then we have to adjust this, right, as this came in. Actually, this is, hold on, with the bottom down here. Hold on. Actually, I want to do this because I think it goes up. Yeah, see how it's up there. So we'll start it up here. And we'll get over to that. So it's at least that. So that's where it started to spike. See how it's the same price here? This spike, still at the same price. This spike was still at the same price. If it's not spiking, you don't have to, it's like, see how down in the bottom left there, it's not really populating. Well, it did spike up 1. And I'll include it, because it's still part of the iceberg. See, this is what I used to have to do every single event. I cannot believe I did. I say it every day. I can't believe I did this for about 7 years. Let's move this down. By the time, a lot of times, if you have a fast moving market, by the time you draw the thing, it's over. All right, and then that's this spike here. Let's see if anything happened up here. Yes. Right, see, no, wait, take that back. Yeah, right there. See this bubble? So you got to move that up. So far that's the area. Well, I just want to see what Nasdaq's doing here because I am short. And I'll get back to the thesis, just chopping around. Anyway, my stop for my short, remember I said I was short off this guy, ATR retest confirm. Stop was way up here. I trailed it. Well, I don't stop out the best I can right in front, right in the middle of the zones because I just talked about how they reject. So I'm going to move my stop up to here. You know, this is subjective. You got to decide if you're willing to move it. You know, technically, if you're going to just follow these rules, you should be out right here. I'm not going to stop out one into the third largest gamma level on the board and a prior event. So I'm willing to risk an extra, you know, this is almost 30 points. So this is where it gets subjective, where you got to decide if you're going to do that for yourself. If you just want to stop out and say, I gave it a shot, the short's not working, I'm going to take a little bit of a loss. Fine. If not, you know, I'm moving it out of here. So 24.50 is my stop for these guys. Then I'll go back to Russell. If you got questions, throw them in YouTube. All right, that is working. I already caught the reversion trade, so that was very nice of Mr. Nasdaq. I won't start swearing at it yet. All right, did this go all the way up here?
Long entered.
Right, so there are, you know, this is one of my weaknesses in trading, right? Like when I'm zeroed in on a certain direction, then I just kind of go blind to the other direction. It's actually a very prevalent thing in trading. Meaning this is a long event now. It did confirm long, right, to push the ATR out. So this is a long event. What could I go long off of this? Because I am short one strategy, but there are other strategies I may be able to go long. So there's no Izzy zone. I mean, technically you could have an Izzy zone here because it is the high volume node. I don't draw high volume nodes unless they're confluent with something else because I'd have about 4,000 zones on this. But I'm not going to take that one. Let's see if we have something else here. Nothing market profile. So market profile, the pick trade, the pick strategy is looking for volume events at the edges of these things. We're basically right in the middle, so no trade there. And then Ludwig levels, no trade there either. So I take the trades off the major Ludwig levels. These are the second most powerful thing I've ever seen in my trading career as far as how the market respects them. And you can see here, like crude, like overnight. Look at this thing. Like this is just common occurrence, right? Right off the red lug, or right off the red lug, close to the yellow lug. So these things are incredible. She's in the room too, so she's always in there pointing out when to roll the lugs to new months and things like that. But these are incredible in their own right. I don't trade anything blindly though, meaning I know how powerful these are. I still will not trade them unless I get a volume event that proves, like in this case, bearish, right? That's just because the SI stuff, stop iceberg stuff is the most powerful stuff I've ever seen. So anyway, there is nothing really to go long here from my strategies. Doesn't mean you can't go long. It means my strategies are no long. Algo guy is bearish. So this is an exponential moving average. This is the filter I use for the Bark lick trades, right? So if I get the ATR retest confirm, like I did on that first setup, I'll take it because the algo guy is in my favor. Algo guy is bearish right now, meaning the longer term, which is the red ribbons. These are just periods, right? As long as the blue is below the red, it's bearish looking right now. So I will not take bark and licks. And you can see this thing is struggling to go higher. That's not the only reason, but that thing's very prevalent. There's algos there, but that's why we call it algo guy. Anyway, this did do the ATR retest confirm. Actually, what I'm going to do here is hot knife through butter. There we go.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
All right. We'll go. I just took a hot knife through butter trade. As I was showing this, I forgot I could put this on. So hot knife through butter is when it keeps testing. There we got more bias coming in here. ATR retest can't go. You can jump in right when it breaks the zone. So that's what I just took. My stop's going to be up here. I probably have too many on there. Hold on.
Order filled.
Right, now you see buy ice is coming in, so somebody's trying to stop this. This is a double whammy too. I'm going to combine these. So what's a double whammy? It's one of my 6 distinct stop iceberg setups. These were stop runs earlier. Now you get another stop run, aka puke, into the waiting hands of buy ice. So this inherently should be bullish. If it's not, watch out below. And structure-wise, it's already watch out below. So let me combine these. Remember, I'm still short the bark lick trade too. We'll go over that again. Bark lick are the same trade. So off of this, I'm taking a fail balance breakout trade. I was already working it off of this guy before, but this guy proved bullish, so I didn't put it on. Now we got a new event. My entry for this guy is just hover over it. That's see where it says short aggressive. That's my entry. And I'll get in. I'm not getting in right now, and I could if I want put on a. Again, I'm jumping from strategy to strategy, guys. I could put on a sexy Gexy here. Sexy Gexy is one of the only trades where I'll jump in right smack dab in the middle of the zone. Let me make sure there's no heavy relative buying. I mean, it's kind of through these levels, so I'll just wait. If I got another one down here, I'd probably take it. Actually, if it came down here, I'll take the sexy Gexy. We'll talk about that as a long if it comes down here. I'm not going to take it right here, though. I just got to decide where I'm going to stop out of this. If this comes back now, I'll just keep it where I had it. 24.50. But new event here. So if this proves bearish, I'm taking failed balance breakout. This is the best trade in position trading, in my opinion, right? We just showed this. Tried to break out. Here we are, high volume node. Here's your event. If this turns bearish, I'm firing on this thing and I'm taking double size shorts. Just want to make sure we're not getting some ridiculous hero flip. But again, this controls the entire market 90% of the time is my guess, right? Every time this thing moves a notional billion, it's huge for the market, right? This just moved from positive 1 billion down to minus 3 billion. And that's why you get the moves that you get. It's unbelievable. And it's the newest game in town where these dealers are loaded up with options and they have to turn around and hedge it in the futures. So this is next expiration. So this is all trades, and then you got next expiration, the green or whatever color this is. If they're right on top of each other, that means that the 0 date to expiration is running the show, and that's exactly what's happening here. So whatever these guys decide to do, they load up the dealers have to hedge, the dealers have no choice because they're not directional traders. The market rips. Hold on, I just must have, I forgot about DS. This is probably a sexy Gexy too. I heard it, yeah. Damn it. All right, this is the top Gex level on the board, meaning the strongest, and I just missed a sexy Gexy. So because this is the issue when I'm on these webinars, even when I'm by myself, if I'm trading all these markets, it's like I miss stuff. I heard this and I just didn't get over here quick enough. This was a stop run, dumb money puke into the largest Gex level. I jump in right in the middle of the zone. I get out of half on the ATR move out, and then I let half ride. So I missed that trade, but I can still put on potential longs here. Let's see if we got a. So this was an Izzy right at the high volume node. Surprise, surprise. All right. Just that's the zone here actually is the high volume node. So I could put on an Izzy long right now. So Izzy longs are aggressive entries, meaning I'm taking the first move out of the zone. So what's my sizing for? So I'm going to put on, we're going to play the price change game here too. I'll show you guys the market pulse. All right, so I'm long Izzy. I showed you that inflection zone with the volume event moved out. Here's my entry right here. I only put on half size. I could put on 4, risking $400. If this comes back with the price change algo, which is ridiculously powerful in its own right, it usually runs the show in here when nothing's going on. You can see every time this thing blips, it goes the other way. So if this blips back down, I get a price change. I'm going to put on the other half. It's just it may not price change back, right? So I got to be okay with if this thing just rips off the page. I still have some on, but I just know these markets, and most of the time if the big money's on in here, then you get algo city. All right, so I'm going to try to take advantage of the next algo move down. And when I hear this price change and you can turn it on, it gets really annoying, but we'll turn it on to show you that I know to put on the other half of the trade. You know, if it rips, then I got to be okay with it ripping. All right, we do have reversions here. Potential back in blacks again.
NQ long validated. Prior NQ long validated.
Right, so if this comes back, I'm going to take this again. Damn it. All right, so this is the reversion trade again. It's the same trade I took earlier. This one was A+. This is not A+, but I'm taking it off this gate. I was going to say, I didn't mean to say gay. This Gex 3 level stops up here. It could be gay, and then the happy gay means happy, right? It could be a happy trade here. Let's see. And then, so this is an in and out trade, potentially, right? There's no subjective. Well, there are subjectiveness sometimes of the algo guys crossing. We'll get into that, but this is, you know, the closest thing to a scalp. Like I said, I get in, I know where I get out, I know where my stop is. Position trading's a little more, I don't want to say tricky, but it's like you know where to get in, but then where do you get out? Like you have to have specific areas that you have to be consistent to get out. So we'll cover that. All right, so I'm short 3 strategies in NQ and I'm long 1 in here. So I hate having opposing setups on or trades on, but again, I market doesn't care what I want, right? So I'm long ES and I'm short NQ. Just want to make sure I'm not missing another area here to put on this ES long. This was a pick too. Come on here. So you see the market moved into the top of this guy with the volume event. Could go long pick as well. So I will take the pick trade. I'm going to put on half here too, just like I did Lizzie. I hate having opposing positions on, right? Especially because I always want the markets to get crushed because I love when the longs get their asses handed to them because they're ridiculous bungee jump every time the market sells off. But it is what it is. Let's keep an eye on this. And the minute this thing starts turning over the other way, if it does, the market's going to rip off the page. This runs everything lately. You know, there are pockets that big money comes in and do their business, but most of the time it's algos and hero flow. That's what drives the markets. And you can see this is moving exactly with the hero. ES and Q. Right? This was this. Then you get your blip. Get your blip. So it's just, it gets really annoying, but at least we know, you know why the market's doing what it's doing. When you get the flow alerts, that means a big options activity comes in and the market usually reverses. So keep an eye out for that. It didn't work earlier, but there was no event to tag off that. And I did miss the sexy Gex here, which is very upsetting. All right, so I'm long. I could take the reversion here too if I want. I mean, these blind spots aren't this strong. They're based off the SPY. And blind spot 9 is not that strong, so I'm probably not going to take the reversion off that. It doesn't have to be Gex levels either. You can add whatever you have important areas that you look at. You can take them off those. I guess I could take it off this. This is a prior market profile low. I kept it in here because the high hasn't been touched. Then you can see that point of control from yesterday was right on that. So technically, I could, and you got VWAP. So technically, I could take this reversion if I want to. Here's your entry. That's the 2 reversion actually. Or I could take the back in black. So it's tagging that stuff now. And then if it comes back, I could take the 1. Hold on here. I'm actually going to stop. I'm going to stop out of my hot knife through butter. Like if it comes right back here, I'm not going to let it come all the way back up here. We'll go over hot knife through butter here again. That was pretty quick. I just saw it, so I didn't want to miss it. Why is this down $473? That's not good. All right. I had too many of these on top of it, so this pops back above here. I'm going to get out 650. You know, like I said, when I was short earlier, I didn't want to stop out in this prior event. Well, it's not the prior event anymore. So, I mean, it doesn't mean it won't stall here, but it's already come back here a couple times. So now it could probably rip through. So I'll just get out of my bar click up there too. Put it at 07. Because these markets are holding where they should hold if it's going to stay bullish. You know what I mean? So.
Order canceled.
All right, those stops are in. I do have the reversion trade working here too. So those are shorts, and then I have 2 longs on NES. So let's see what happens here. Now we just sit here and watch the hero flow dictate which way this is going to go. That's how it works. This thing trades just like a market. Again, you know, we're working on ways because you do have this tape, it's called tape. I just don't know yet. You know, I need to watch this a lot closer to know the notional, to know, hey, this may turn out to be a 4 billion move. This may be a 5 billion move, right? Right now, all we really know with the flow alerts, where usually you get the flow alert and the market will reverse. But you need to have this stuff. This is spot gamma, like I said. we'll read his commentary here in a couple minutes. And then we got the GEX levels. So you have spot gamma levels. I have them over here. And then we have the Mentor Q levels. Mentor Q has them for all these different markets too. They're, it's incredible. You have to know this stuff. If you're trading these markets, you have to know where these areas are because the options flow is so prevalent, like I've said 18 times in this webinar. This was actually a bullish event. Make sure I don't have any shorts on in here. I can't remember what I did earlier. No.
Order validated.
All right, probably just stopped out of there. All right, so I'm out of those NASDAQ shorts, except for the reversion trade. I still have the reversion working. That's probably going to be to the fill tick, or to the tick fill, I should say. All right, so I got the reversion on. My stop's up here for the reversion, and you see how it moved. I don't move the stop when I fill. That's where the stop stays. I don't move it. The entries I will move for position trades, but I don't move that. So that's working. Looks like I missed a long in here in crude. We'll go look at that in a second, so I can complain about that. And I'm long ES. So you can hear this thing price changing, right? So if this gets up to this GEX3 and it's price changing, I'm going to get out of, I only have 2 on because I remember I was going to try to play the price change game. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like sometimes you're not going to get the price change back. It'll price change eventually and I can maybe put them back on, but I'm watching this to get out of one of them and then I'll put it back on the price change game.
CS long validated.
So I don't play the price change game unless it's into an important area, meaning see how this is price changing right now? I won't get out of it unless it's price changing into an important area, and then I'll put it back on the price change coming back. So it'll probably get up here and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So, and then what I'm going to probably do here, if this comes up here, I'm going to try this 3 reversion, the 3, the 2, the 1 back in black. We'll give that a shot. So actually I want to put this alert in here so I don't miss that happening. This over here. All right, it might happen right now. Let me get this set up. So this is the sizing for the reversions here, right? So if I put on the 1 reversion, I can put on, these are each risking $400 though. So you got, if you're going to put in all 3, you're really risking $1,200, or I would be. So I got to, kind of split these in a third. I'll put 7 on for the 3 here and see if we get filled on it. All right, this is pretty close to that. I'm going to get out of one of these MES and I'll show you the price change game because it's almost certainly going to happen.
Order filled. Order filled.
Why is this not letting me? Did I already blow out this account? Why is this rejecting my order? I think I blew out the account. I haven't made any reversion. The reversion trade I took was a winner. Oh, you know why? Because I almost made a huge mistake. I did this a couple weeks ago. I put on 15 big Russell and lost $1,500 in 5 seconds. So I don't have this on micros. That could have been, that's why it wasn't letting me put it on because I have limits. Of course, I just missed the trade there.
15 contracts.
All right, that's better. That would have been not good because I never work my way when I make a mistake like that. All right, so it's 10 micros, not 10 big ones. I'll put on 7 because I want to take the corresponding ones coming back. This is the back and black reversion trade. See if I get filled. I hate even putting the orders in because it's like the market sniffs them and runs away. I know they're micros, but you would be very surprised. Right. So that it didn't quite get up there. So I shouldn't have been filled yet, so I'm all right with that. So if that pops up there, I'm going to take the reversions. We'll go over that. I got out of one of my longs. Remember, we went long Izzy and pick. I got out of one because we got price change into an important level. And when this thing price changes back this way, like this guy, I'm going to put him back on. And then, so what we've been doing a lot more lately is taking advantage of this, right? So it's called scalping around your position. I leave a core part of my position on, and then I play the price change with a portion of the position. And this is the best way to achieve R most of the time because, yeah, your risk reward, of course, you're going for 3, 4 to 1 or whatever you guys are trying to get. But again, the market doesn't care that I won 3 or 4 to 1. And how often do you get a 3, 4 to 1 R move straight. Not very often, right? It happens, but it doesn't happen that often. What happens way more often? This crap. So if I'm picking, like yesterday, I did it like 10 times in the NASDAQ, right? It was like I got the price change, I was long. I got the price change, I got out of an important area, came back, put it back on. Price change, got out, put it back on. I did this like 5 times yesterday. Each time was like 50 points. So it's like you can take advantage. You kind of want that. So when you're in a position trade looking for R, this drives you insane. When you're playing the game, you want it to come back so you can get in, get out, get in, get out, get in. So it's a way of scalping around your position, right? So I'm about to stop out of this reversion. So this is a great example though, right? So I made money on the first one. This one's going to stop out. That's trading, right? If you have an edge, you do it enough, you will be profitable if you have the edge, right? So I made money on that first one. Which one was that over here? This one here, right? And I put this one on. What I didn't do here, I just filled on the reversion, 3 reversion here. So my stop for this is here. Right now, if this comes back, I'm going to take the 2 and the 1. I'm going to cut my sizing down here because again, this is same for each one of these. So I just put on the 3. I could put on 9, risking 400. The 2, 400. The 1. I missed that. I know I missed a trade in crude. I just couldn't get over there. So we'll go 4 and 4 here. So this comes back. We'll go 4 and 4. We're going to try to take the back in black, 3, 2, and 1. Right, back in black's when it tags something important. It hasn't quite got up there, but I took it. It's close enough. The 2, the 1, and we're out back at the zone. This is a reversion trade. Did not get filled to the tick here yet. That's quite shocking in its own right. It's coming, don't worry, but I'm alive for right now for this reversion trade. So, all right, let's see what we missed in crude so I can cry. This is a huge trade. You see this stop run. Let's see what area this was in. I'm sure it was in Izzy. There you go. This is why these are here. This was that balance area. I put this in the room. I was ready to take these trades, fail balance break out of that guy, Breaking Bad, and it didn't happen. And I never got short at least, right? So not putting on a loser is just as good as putting on a winner. Anyway, this was an inflection zone that I draw with the volume event. I should have been long that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That would have been long right here. And you got yourself a 50, almost 50 tick trade. And now what you do is, so say I did get long here just to show you guys, right? That's the event and the inflection zone. Here's my entry. At the time, I could have put on 13 micros, risking $400, right? And now we get a new event. Well, first of all, I would have been out of some of these, especially at X1. I would have been out of probably half of them up here. And then you trail your stop to the most recent event, which is right there. And you can move them below these GEX levels too if you want, but so that was a missed trade. I'll guarantee it was something else here too, because every trade I miss is a winner. Yep, that was a pick as well. So that's, you know, you got to take responsibility. That's the one thing. I'm reading that Trading Composure book or listening to it. I'll show you the guy on next. It's a really, really, really good book. You got to take responsibility. There you go. That's the stop run into the bottom of that. And it was an Izzy zone, and I missed both of them. Might actually have been a dad too. Let's see here. No, it was not a dad. We'll go over that if it comes up, and I'm not going to jump into every strategy here. All right, so I'm still long. Wait for the price change to get back down. I got long Izzy and pick over here. We already went over all these. I got out of half of them up here. I just had 2 on because I was waiting for that to come back. But if I get the price change again, I'm going to put those back on, and then I have reversions working. Any questions? Let me see. Put them in YouTube. Hello, Angel. I think you fronted me yesterday, didn't you? Is that you? No, it wasn't you. Super Roman player. How do you determine which 8 tier to take regarding 1, 2, or 3 8 tier strategy? So again, that's what I was getting at, right? So some days the ones work nonstop. 1, 1, 1. Some days the 2s work and the 1s work. Some days the 1s and 2s are getting blown out. The 3 work. Which one do you take? Don't know. I'm not psychic. Well, I do know whatever one you're going to commit to. So if you're taking them aggressively, meaning as the market moves into them, you take every one that you see in your given market. You don't know which ones are going to work, just like any trading strategy. So you take every single one. Especially on the webinars, I take the back and blacks, waiting for it to show it's bouncing off an important area. Then I take the backdoor reversions, right? So that helps me say, okay, like right now, I just filled on this. Hopefully it's not to the tick. I'm sure it will be, especially because I took it right into this damn gex level. Anyway, I take the 3, the 2, the 1 back to the zone. So if you're taking them aggressively, it's fine. You just got to take every one, right? And some days the one, like I said, ones are working nonstop. Some days it's the 2s, some days it's the 3s. This is back in black where I was waiting for this bounce off gex 3, right? And then I took the corresponding ATRs. Again, this is the best, closest thing to a hedge or to scalping that I know of. This in the price change game. By the way, here's the price change. So I'm gonna put these longs back on.
Order filled.
S&P Iceberg 5ES.
All right, so I'm out of this reversions. We'll go over that here in a second. Hold on, I want to put this.
Order filled.
All right. So you can hear that annoying price change, right? So that's that. Like you can turn on the sound, but it can go on for a long time. So remember, I got out of some here on this price change, and now I'm putting them back on. These are the longs I put on earlier. My reversion trade, I was playing for a reversion back to that zone, right? Well, if there's a new event, I'm not hoping it gets back to this event now. I am out. The minute I hear the new event, then I just start the process over again, right? Then what you have here is a potential A+ reversion, and you have that strongest gex level on the board. So it's like an A++. So I'm just going to put this in right now. And this is the 1 reversion, right? So I could put on 0.9, risking $400. That goes in there. And here's my stop for that. So that's working. I cannot believe I did not get stopped out of the tick to this. That's just, you guys are witness. Don't go outside it. I'm going to get out of half these, by the way, just because I should already been, because this is a gex level too. Do not go outside today because you will be struck by lightning. If you've watched any of my webinars, I get stopped to the tick 10 times a day. So that is something's going on in the universe. Don't leave your house today would be my recommendation. All right, so I still have that short on. And if you are shorted, congratulations. Now it will work for you because I just sacrificed for you for it to come back to the zone. So I got out of half. I'm fine with it. I should have been stopped. So that's why that's why I did that. All right, in the meantime, I'm working. I'm still long. Izzy pick. I got out of half. Put it back on the price change. Those are position trades where I'm looking for bigger moves. Then I'm working the reversion trade here, and I can take this reversion as well. Say if it popped just like I took the first one up here. Say it comes up to gex 3, pops back. I'll take the 1 ATR there too. Again, guys, if this first time watching this, you're just like, what is this guy doing? But once you understand it, it's like second nature, right? I'm taking position trades, I'm taking reversion trades, I'm taking different strategies. All right, again, you're welcome here for this. Sacrificing for the team. Mushnell, thank you for the great live webinar. I'm currently using Mentor Q, and after your session last week I picked up SpotGamma subscription. I wanted to ask if you ever tried using GexoBot. Never heard of it. Is that what is it? Guys, I'm always open for other other platforms, but I've not heard of that. Since it displays real-time gex strikes directly on the bookmap chart. The GexoBot does? Never heard of it. I will look at it though. Is that a web? Put the website in, please. Is it gexobot.com? J Money, why does your Spot Gamma Hero dashboard look like that? Like what? Well, they have the older one. I have the older one on this one, and they have the upgrade now too. So if I go like this, is this what you're talking about? Is this what yours look like? Is this what you're asking me? Other than that, I don't know what you're talking about. This is the hero, the blue. This is the price. So I have it this way too. You can look at it this way. Right? And you can see, look what just happened here. 1 billion move. And there's your move. It's unbelievable how this thing runs the show. It's not the other way around. This does not control that. That controls that 90% of the time. Again, there's pockets the big money comes in here, Most of the times it's algos,
Prior
as you
and
see
Q long
right there,
tested.
whipsawing everybody to death. And this, and it's the same for the Nasdaq and the ES, right? They're the same stocks, most of them, right? The highest weighted ones. So this just moved $1 billion. There you go. So you just gotta hope most times that you just don't get a hero flow up your, you know what, or a big hero move, and that was this move in ES. So again, once we find out how to read that tape correctly or the right inputs, we're going to be able to kind of see it coming, which is huge. I mean, unless you get the hero flow alert right now, you don't really see it coming until after it happens. And like I say, yeah, it's great to see why you got run over, but I want to kind of see before I get run over. That's the whole point. All right, still working that A plus. You don't recommend GexSpot. Could you crank up my volume? You can't hear me. I thought this was on pretty high. Let's see here. I forgot how to do this too.
CL long validated.
CL is really annoying me. That's my own fault, but that sucks. That's a huge trade I missed. Let's see. I thought this was on max. We do this every week. For some reason, this thing like defaults back to. I can't remember how to do it though. I even got a new microphone. You guys, maybe if I can move this microphone closer to me. So hopefully that works. I mean, it looks like it's. Yeah, I got it on max here, guys. So hopefully, I mean, just turn up your volume. I don't know what to tell you there. Sorry there, beryllium. I don't see the tabs. Yeah, and the other thing, guys, too, is you want to watch these other markets too, because the options markets aren't as powerful in these other markets, but they're still very important, right? Like USO is crude. Here we go. Like look at crude. It's so you could come up with strategies like saying, I'm not taking if I see this thing moving. So you can see over here the 30-day range. You can kind of tell if it's a big move or not. I don't have the exact values for this, but 12 million minus 12 million plus 9 million. So, a 750,000 move is pretty significant. Well, look what crude did, right? So you got to know this stuff if you're any of these markets nowadays. Look, there you go. And this is the trade I missed. Who wants I didn't want a 100 tick winner. It just came down there. So I would expect crude to start selling off a little bit. Again, these aren't as powerful as the ES. The ES is the SPX is the biggest options market on the planet. But gold, let's see what's gold doing. That way, there hasn't been an event in gold, but it's not really doing anything notional either. It doesn't mean you look at every blip here, but you definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of the euro move. It moves like a market, but there's times you can say, hey, this is so bullish. I'm not taking shorts, that kind of thing. I'm not there yet with that as far as filters, but I'm gonna be there soon just because this stuff is just so prevalent now. Again, if you don't have the information, you don't have all the information. All right, anyway, more importantly, I do have the reversion working here in ES, and now I can trail my stop. So I'm still long, right? We got out of one up here. I put it back on the price change. I can trail my stop to the most recent event. Now I lost my own drawing tool. I mean my drawer. Here we go. Right. So remember, I took the Izzy and the pick trade, the market profile, got out of one here on price change, put it back on price change. My stop was down here. New event, my stop goes here. I'm not stopping out in the middle of this event. I will move it
CL long
to here,
retested.
which is going to be around 40. Put it at 46. I want to get below this zone and the 10% of an ATR line. 46 is a stop for these longs. So, if it comes back, I'm not, that's about a 7-point difference I'm saving myself. This is how I trail my stops. This is the biggest fallacy error that retail traders make is the trailing of the stop to break even nonsense. It makes no sense. The market doesn't care where you want to break even or make money. The market cares about volume and volatility. So use this stuff to trail your stops. That's what I do anyway. So, because that's something that happened in the market. Not my just self-imposed because I want to break even. Because how many guys? What do you think these algos are trading off of? They're trading off of they're traders playing stop. They come down and they know traders are trailing their stops. They stop you out and then it goes the other way. They take your order and then it goes the other way. This is a zero-sum game. If you don't think that's what's going on, you're in the wrong business. These jackasses are trying to take your money. View it as like a sporting event, right? And it's the best way to view things too, because then you're not like despondent on every loss. When you play a sporting event, a tennis match, a golf match, whatever. You don't, I mean, you expect to win every time. Do you win every time? No, it's the same with trading. If you can view it like that, you don't get all wrapped up on a loss, right? You're like, you know, okay, you got me on that. Like, for instance, I stopped out of the, of course, I puked right at the damn high here, but the hot knife through butter, we didn't really even go over that trade. But the point is, it's like I put on hot knife through butter on this guy, tried the ATR, couldn't go. Tried the ATR, couldn't go. I jumped in right as this stuff fired off, and I stopped out right there. Okay, great. You got me on that one, on the next trade, right? That's the way you have to view it, because that's what it is. By the way, hold on here. So to see what I mean about coming down to these, especially if you have GEX levels here too, I can't tell you how many times this happens. It comes right close to my, so if I was watching this closer, I would have been out of these right here. Let's see. I'm going to get out of one right here. I'm just, because I'm not monitoring it. See how this got real close to this exit? And there's a GEX level here. So you don't have to wait for exact fills when you have GEX levels right in front of your order. So I would have been out. This is what I mean. Like I can't monitor this stuff when I'm on these webinars. I'm showing other markets. We're looking at ES. I would have been out right there instead of trying to squeeze out five points and a 40 ATR basically. So hopefully this comes down and fills me on the rest of these. But and I did tell you I sacrificed for you guys, right? So if you did put this trade on, again, these webinars are not to mirror my trading. It's to learn how to do this for yourself. But I remember I said I should have stopped out and I got out of half. And I said once I get out of half, how it'll come back. It's almost like I'm psychic. There you go. Could you just fill me? It's 1 micro. It's not. I'm not asking the world here. All right, I'm out. It's just stupid. It's market. So the thing is, too, guys. Like I said, there's a lot of traders using this now, and there's a lot of orders right here. These algos sniff the orders and they run it away. That's probably what some of that is too. That's why firms use icebergs. So just be aware of that. All right, I'm out of that trade. So basically broke even on it, I guess, right? Because I got some up here, but that's fine. I should have stopped. Again, do not leave the house today. That I didn't get stopped to the tick is a miracle in its own right. All right, still working this thing too. Right, what are the questions you got? Not bad. I don't know anything about GEX levels yet, but did you buy the Mentor Q? Which are the most important ones to use and why? And is number 1 the most relevant? Yes. Number 1's the strongest. Number 10's the least strongest, right? So, Baz, you're in my trade room too, so we talk about this stuff all the time. And on top of it, just go to. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Mentor Q. Mentor Q YouTube. I've done many webinars with him. You can look at his other webinars too, but applying to my stuff. You'll see my smiling face here eventually. Let's go watch the webinars. There's one we did. I've done probably 5 or 10 of them with him. It's an incredible website in its own right, right? And that, guys, in that flip book that I showed you, there's discounts to everything, right? They just had a Black Friday. Here we go. Right, go ahead and flip on over. Right there, 20% off. Click on these. All right, I'll post this again. Then the YouTube. And then Spot Gamma, use Scott for 50% off the first month. Oh, and so while we're on the topic, so I use Apex Trader Funding. I still use it. I've used it for a while because again, when I got back in the game, I wasn't backed by a trading firm, right? It's like I didn't have, I couldn't trade 3,000 E-mini S&Ps like I used to, right? And when you're trading with your own money that you're living off of, it's a whole different ball game, right? So anyway, I wish this stuff was around when I got knocked out of the game back in like 2007 to 2013 when I was basically just trying to find a new way to trade because my scalping didn't work anymore. I was praying for something like this, right? Now you guys got it. So this is a great way to practice your trading. Even if you're coming in and learning my stuff, you don't want to be risking your own money until you know what you're doing. This is a perfect way. So you get one of these. So they got a new deal here. Actually, I use Rhythmic and the Tradeovate. I use both of them for different strategies, but I have them copying to live accounts. That leads me to, I just posted this in the YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube channel, actually, hold on here. It's in the flip book too. So this trade copier here, where is it at? just posted this the other day. Right here, ETP trade copier. So I got this working. That's this dude here.
NG long validated.
All right, so I have it from the Apex to live, from a trading firm to live, so you can copy the trades. So the point is, you know, if you want, even if you don't want to, you know, you can get one of these, and it's incredible because you don't have to risk. So for this, I was going to show you this sale they've got going, and they just released it before I got on here. I put it in my room. I thought it was incredible, right? $84 all in for any of the strategies, and once you go live. So it used to be, you know, you get a great deal on the practice account, and then the way these things work is you got to make a certain amount before you lose a certain amount, right? So if you do the 100,000, you got to make $6,000 before you lose 3. And this is a trailing too. So if you get up to 5,900 and you get back $3,000, you blow out of the account, right? But the point is, you're not losing, you know, if you blow out, you're not losing $3,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is for each account. You're losing 86, in this case, 84 bucks. And this is covering, this is what usually gets you, right? So you say you qualify. Then you got to pay the PA fee, whatever the PA stands for. I forgot what it stands for. It's usually like 140 bucks, right? And then you have a live account worth 5,000, or, you know, again, don't go by I still don't know why these, I say it every time. They say $100,000 account. It's not $100,000 account. It's whatever the drawdown is, right? So if you do the 25,000, it's not a $25,000 account. It's a $1,500 account. Because if you lose $1,500, you're out of the account, right? But the point is, once you qualify, right, then you got to pay the PA fee. Well, the PA fee is usually like 100 and 140 bucks or whatever it is. It's $6. So guys, you can practice for 84 bucks. If you lose on the trade, if you're thinking about it in trading terms, relatively, if you put on a trade, you're risking way more than 84 bucks most of the time, unless you're trading one micro, right? So big deal. Get an account if you want to fire, and you get 1 day to pass it too. So if you have a couple big trades, all of a sudden now you're funded. So this is the one I've always used. I've been paid multiple times from them. Traders in my room have been paid multiple times. They post when they've been paid. They pay. It's the best one that I know of. Hold on, I'm about to get filled on this guy. The entry's now right there. Come on. You can do it. Don't run away from my live order, you little piglets. Anyway, use Pulcini 50 for that. That's my affiliate code. That's your thank you to me for showing you the best edge in the history of the planet, in my opinion. So that's this here. I just filled on that reversion here. Pulcini 50 right there. All right. So filled on the reversion. I guarantee heroes moving lower. Hey, what do you know? Who knew? Who knew? This drives the show. All right, filled on the reversion here. I mean, this is technically an A+ reversion as well, and it's the off the Gex one. So this is telling you something, guys, too. If this blows right through here, this should bounce. Should. If it doesn't, great. I'm stopping out, and guess what? I'm going to be firing on shorts here on out. Actually, this is a short event now. It's not quite there yet. Watch this area for the rest of today, though, and tomorrow. That is, I mean, you don't get a better looking balance as far as structure than this guy, right? This is going back like a week. Tried to break out, even tried to break out of this dude today. Here we are. If it gets through this area, I say line in the sand, 68.40. Anything below 68.40, I'm taking failed balance breakout shorts, and I'm taking any shorts double size, right? Because my thesis is matching the volume events. If the right, what's going on in here? All right, all I got on these ES, and I'm basically going to scratch it here. I should have already just filled on that. Why did I not fill? Hold on, make sure. All right, I should have been out of those. So I lost like 70 bucks, right? Because I played the price change game. I did get out of some up here. And this is why I do it. Hold on.
Order filled.
All right, so I'm out of those. I didn't stop out of my reversion yet, but it's close. The other thing too, you want to watch relative volume. Relative volume's okay right now, but if you see heavy relative volume coming in, do not take reversion trades, because you're playing for the algo snapbacks. When the big money's in here, you will get run over. Hold on here. See, this is what I was hoping. These little piglets. I wanted to. So I'm just waiting for another event, and I will. Actually, here it is. So I'm taking an FBB short, and I'm taking a double size in NASDAQ off of this guy. Just fired off. Stop runs. Right? I was going to take it off that double whammy. And this is telling you something too, right? This did move higher with this buy ice and sell stops. It didn't move much higher. And here we go. Like this looks like this is going to happen. Again, my thesis is just a guess based on structure. I let the real-time volume events tell me. So if this turns bearish now, I am taking the short there. I could put on 2. I'm actually going to put on 4 because my thesis is matching the volume event. If it turns bullish, then there's things I could take here. And it's telling you something too if it breaks this stuff, right? Fabio talks about, watch those webinars I just showed you from the Mentor Q. He talks about this all the time. Like this is support until it's not. And if it rips right through here, it's telling you something, then it's resistance. So you got this level, you got the QQQ level for spot gamma. I'm sure that's what this blind spot is, the QQQ from Mentor Q. So you got these levels here, right? So if it holds, great. If it breaks, it's giving you information just with the GEX levels as far as a thesis. And then you got the fail balance breakout, the best trade in position trading, in my opinion. Try to break out. Here we are, volume event. If I get the short, I'm taking it and watching it go to 0 today. It's going to be delightful. So let's get that guy in there. I still got this reversion on here. Get on up there. Giddy up. So my buddy, one of my best friends for life, we went to high school together, college roommate. He's the one who got me the job at King Street Trading, the trading firm, when I made the millions of dollars, right? So he used to play, he would blast in his office the Jeffersons theme song, moving on up. He would get long ES and he would blast it throughout. You'd hear it through the entire trading firm. So that's what I was thinking there as I'm cheering for this thing to come back to the zone. So if you want to turn on the Jeffersons moving on up to cheer for this, I'd appreciate it. All right, we'll come back to that. I just put in 5 here because I don't want to scare the market. It's ridiculous. It's like, again, I'm not the only person taking these trades because everyone has a zone drawing tool. Not everyone. You should have it. I just don't want to scare the market with orders, even though micros you would think don't scare the market, but you would be surprised. So if it comes up here, at least I know I'm filled, and I'll come over and get out of the rest. Market, I'll go to market. In the meantime, I'm taking FBB shorts here, and I'm taking them double size. The entry for those, again, I don't know what I'm doing on this event yet. I'm letting it show me in hand. If it gets the ATR above, then it's a bullish event. If it gets the ATR below, then it's a bearish event, and that's where I'm going to enter. And then my stop goes up here, and the sizing all takes that into account. And I'm taking double size as I watch this go to 0, 65, 75. You can see it down there, and all you got to do is hover over it, and you got them over here too. That's what all these levels are. All right, so if I'm doing short aggressive, it's cut off a little bit. It's 46.50. I'm sorry, 65 right there. Right, that's the same thing. 65.75. So I will take the FBB shorts and NASDAQ. If it comes down there, if not, there's potential longs here, right? So I'm a day trader. I feel like these markets are going to get killed. Do I know? No. And that's what I'm saying. That's why we force the market to show the hand. I have strategies. I'll go along, even though I think something's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. I know my strategy and my edge. So I just put the trades on, right? I can't tell you how many trades felt terrible that turned out to be huge winners because I don't know what's going to happen next. I know there's a volume event and I know how to trade it in that direction. Hold on, I'm about to get filled here, hopefully. Get on up there. You can do it. Come on. Probably got like 85 orders in here from all you guys mirroring this. All right, I'm going to get out of a couple there. Come on. Fill me on the rest. I'm sacrificing for you guys too if you did take this reversion trade. Again, don't mirror my trades. Again, I used to harp on trading like an algo. I still do, right? Meaning, you say right now, oh, it's only 2 points or it's only 1.5 points. I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, it's only 2 points now. But if you do it 100 times in the next month, now you're talking about 200 points, right? So, but most of the time there's like a GEX level here. And if there's a GEX level, I don't need to squeeze out another point like we talked about earlier. And then 2, I'm on these webinars. If I move off of here and it like just comes here and tickles the fill and it does this, it drives me absolutely crazy. So that was actually a good cover for half of them so far. Because this is what these markets do. They rotate. It's really annoying, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, we're playing the game with them. We're playing this ridiculous game with them, right? And you can see here, right when this tag price change, this is another thing you can use to get out. Right there, it just started to tickle it. I'll go over this here in a second.
NQ long entered.
As far as the market pulse, right? So you can say, okay, that's close enough. If I was paying attention to that, I just would have got out of all of them there. So instead, the thing comes back 7 points on me, but at least I got out of some. But use this stuff. So this is market pulse. It's part of that, guys. And I'm telling you, take advantage of it. Everything is half off. Actually, let me go over this stuff real quick while I'm getting tortured in that trade. Bookmap wanted me to show this stuff that they got going on here today. Let's see. All right, so first and foremost, I got the blue jacket competition. That's this guy. So if you post it like on social media, put free blue jacket. I think that's what you put, right, Dan? Say what add-ons you're using. If you're smart, you get the zone drawing tool add-on because it's the most powerful thing ever. And then you get free stuff there, and you get the cool hoodie. They were supposed to send me one. I never got it, Dan. So why don't you resend that? That'd be great. Here's the deal: 50% off, guys. This includes my. They talked me into the zone drawing tool, right? So it's not even my tool. It's my ideas, but a developer, my trade room, Johan, found out a way to draw these type iceberg events with all this information on here. By the way, there's this going on in crude right now. Sell ice at Gex1. This is actually a sexy Gexy. We haven't even gone over this trade yet. It's kind of through there. I'll come back. Crude's already upset me. I don't feel like losing money in that right now, and I'm even more pissed because I missed a huge winner. Anyway, 50% off the zone drawing tool for the month too. So and all their add-ons. Take advantages. I've never seen this. I thought they were going to do. They said, yeah, we're going to do a Black Friday special, and I'm like, okay. And they asked me, hey, do you want to offer your stuff for half price? And I'm like, sure. And they're like, it's for the month of December. I'm like, for a full month? So it's for a month. Take advantage of it. Then if you want the data, 60% off Global Plus monthly. I think you can use my code for that if I'm not mistaken. So it's in that flip book. You can just go right here. I'll post this too. Again, this is your thank you to me for showing you the best edge in the history of futures trading, in my opinion. Guys, I'm telling you, take advantage of this stuff. Like, I've never seen them offer this kind of sale. I talked to Bruce the other day. I'm like, why are you guys doing this? Like, you guys are huge. You're getting bigger and bigger and more powerful and powerful. Like, why are you offering 60% off? But they are. All right, hold on. I could take reversions off these Gex levels here if I want. And then there's potential. Remember, I'm working a short. This is about to qualify as a long. So what do we got? These markets just won't die, man. It's just so annoying. They just will not die. And you can see this is an Izzy. So here we go. Like, this looks like that. And guess what? The real-time volume's telling me no dice. This isn't an Izzy zone. This is an inflection zone that I draw every day from my trade room. You can draw these too. It's just based on the 4 important areas of charting. Tops and bottoms of balance areas, high volume nodes of balance areas, directional conviction, buying and selling tails. That's what the zones are drawn from. It's an art. It's more of an art than exact, but these zones are extremely powerful on top of everything else that I look at as far as the areas. Sell stops into that Izzy zone, so I'm going to take it Izzy long. Feels terrible. I don't care. I'm a day trader. If this turns bullish, it has not turned bullish yet. That's the long validation there. That's the ATR. I'm getting long. Izzy, 69.50. I could put on 2. It's going to make me sad because I want to watch these markets go to 0, but that's my strategy. I don't pick and choose. Guys, that's the point. The casino is the best analogy. Should I go on the trading of the zone rant? We'll do that in a couple minutes. But casinos don't pick and choose which hands they're going to deal. Why? Because they know the math's in their favor. They know they deal enough hands, they're going to come out a winner. It's the same with trading. If you have an edge, you don't know which ones are going to work, which hands are going to win or lose. You keep dealing the cards, meaning you keep putting on the trades. I have no idea if this Izzy is going to work. I know I've watched about 5 million Izzies in my life work, so I put it on. Entries 70.50, I can put on 2. So again, when I come up with a thesis, it's a guess, but then if I get the volume event in the direction of my guess, then I trade bigger. That's all I'm doing. All right, that's working. I did not take this reversion. It's probably going to work perfectly. I could have taken the back in black. I mean, wasn't really back in black. This was an aggressive entry as the market moved into it, but those are those two spot gamma levels, and there you go. You're welcome. Right back to that zone. You're welcome because I didn't take the trade. I still can't get this guy back to the zone because there's a camera in my office that likes to torture me. That's trying to put me in a loony bin. All right, what other questions you got? Oh, anyway, let me just cover the rest of these guys here. The book map stuff. Is it here? Yeah. So 60% off Global Plus. Use that link I just put in there for Bookmap and YouTube, please, because that is a thank you to me. And then here's they got a couple more of these pro trader webinars. Again, I'm not on this right now. I do these every Thursday basically, but you got her. I can't really speak. I do know Austin. I've done a webinar for him. I actually lost $6,000 on one of his webinars because I forgot I had an order book. Go watch it. I actually was very proud of myself. I kept it together. Live money. It was actually an Apex account that was live, and I had it up $5,000 or 4,000 or something, and I lost $6,000 on it and blew it out because I wasn't paying it. I had an order on it, but didn't know. There we go.
Yes, short retested.
All right,
CL long validated.
There's your reversion. So this is what I mean, guys. Like, well, actually, they've all worked today. I didn't get stopped out of this one. So you've watched 3 or 4 reversion winners live today, right? And it's the closest thing to a scalp that I know of that is incredible, right? So this one worked. Took that on the webinar. This one worked. I can't believe I didn't get stopped out, and I got out of half because I sissy. That one worked. And then this one worked. Right there. So this is why, the stop, it didn't stop. But yeah, it took some heat. That was my entry. This was an A plus and off Gex 1. That was the stop. Never got stopped. Back to the zone. Out. That's the trade. If you want to scalp. Otherwise, you take position trades. All right, let's see if Algo guy's bearish here, so I can't take bark and lick shorts here in ES now. All right, see how Algo guys pulled this exponential moving average ribbon. Just Google it. It'll tell you all about it. So this is the pattern. This is the bark lick pattern, and I use Algo guys for the filter. Here's your ATR. Here's your retest, official retest. Comes back. I'm going to put on bark lick shorts, but I'm not going to enter right in Gex 1 in this. I'm going to move it just below. You got to be very careful taking trades at this time of day, though. I say it every day. I've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars between 10:15 and 12:30 Central. I used to have to get up and leave the office, which I should still be doing, because I lost so much money doing it. That's when you turn into Algoville. The reversions are, I mean, you can. What was it? Okay, I just filled on the Izzy long. Just make sure.
Short retested.
Nothing else here. Let's see here. Was this a pick? Let's see. Yeah, this is a pick as well. So when I just missed in crude, right? Same exact thing. So I got to put pick on too. Again, this is disappointing. The thing here, though, we're in this time period, and I say you can trade during this time period if you're getting 150% more volume or more relative volume, and we're not there. So I have the Izzy on. I'll put that on. I'm not putting on the pick 2. See that? That's just telling me this is the zero chart relative volume, the one that I like. Thinkorswim is useless. It's just looking back a certain period from today. This is showing me the exact volume. I have it set for 30 days for this exact time period, right? So I know at this 5-minute time period, we are about normal what usually happens. You do not want to be taking trades at this time of day.
201 contracts.
It's crude again. God, I'm really glad I missed those longs, minus the glad part. This time of day, I demand 150% or more. I'm not taking position trades. You can take reversions because that's when you get this nonsense, right? But again, you're better off just not even trading this time of day. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. So I am long one. I'm not putting on the pick here at this time. So if it rips, great. I got something on. I'm not putting on multiple positions long on top of it because I think these markets are still going to get smoked. But little do I know. I mean, I don't know that for sure. So I'm not going to put on the spark lick either. This comes back here, even though I really want to, because I really want to be short these markets. This doesn't look like death yet, but if it gets, I'm telling you, what, especially with these buying tails that are just put in 2 buying tails at this high volume node. Right at the top of it. This gets through, again, any events that I get through 68.40, and trust me, if this gets through this area, you're going to see the relative volume increase, and then I'll put on trades at this time of day, right? Because all these longs say, oh my God, I'm wrong. Please let me out. And then we watch it go to zero today. It's going to be awesome. All right, I got to take a breath. Let's see what's going on. Really glad I missed this trade. So this is what I was just showing you. I missed this exact trade, this pick trade. That's this. Profiles and courage, we call it. Right here. Profiles and courage. Take any trade that moves into or out of a market profile composite high or low. Trade could be taken, the market moves out of the composite, then blah, blah, blah. So that's not prevalent right here, but that was this trade here that I missed because I was watching other markets. Right there. Same look as NASDAQ right now. Right there. Good thing I didn't catch that one though. Who wants 100 plus $10 winners or dollar winners? That was this guy down here. How's that? How's that for a trade? And guys, these are the trades that I take aggressively, meaning I don't wait for the retest because sometimes the areas are so powerful, it does not retest. Even though this did look like it retested, many times it just goes. That was that Izzy too that I showed you. So that sucks. So crude's been giving me the finger lately, and I don't even have a trade on it. It gave me the finger. Oh, guys, also with this too, this pains me because you guys are getting such incredible information here. But if you go to the marketplace here, all my courses are half price, which again, I just think that's ridiculous for an entire month, but they're half price in here, so take advantage of it. So this is the Bookmap. Go here and you can get the 60% off right now for the basic software. Here's the MBO data. This is the Iceberg and Market Pulse. I'll show you that Market Pulse price change in here in a second that I was going to show you the default. You get all of this stuff. This is the most powerful thing I've ever seen on stop iceberg subchart on chart. And then you need the on chart too for the zone drawing tool to work. Market Pulse that's what I was talking about. It has Market Pulse too. So I'll show you that. So that's 60% off or 50%. That's nuts. And then my courses are on here too. Again, I'm not real happy. Here's the SI course. So I always get, well, which course? Well, how should I take this? What's the right order? The SI course is the core of everything, right? So this is showing you the 6 distinct setups that I trade off of. The Dumb and Dumber, where you get the stop run goes the other way. The double whammy, which we saw in NASDAQ, which was the dumb money puke into the waiting hands of the buy ice, right? So there's 6 distinct setups. Then I look for these setups in important areas. That's what make my trading strategies. So that course is 50% too. That's not on my side. You got to go to Bookmap Marketplace. There's normal price on my side. If you want to go pay me normal price, I'm fine with that too. The ATR reversion course. We've taken 4 of these today or 3 of these and they've all worked. This was a back in black, this example too, by the way. Buy ice, this is ES, tag the whatever GEX level that was, take the 2 to the 1, back to the zone. So that's the reversion course. It depends on what type of trader you are, right? If you are more of a scalp-minded trader, which most traders are because they can't stand sitting in trades, watching it whipsaw them for 6 hours at a time, then you want to gravitate towards the reversion trade, right? The trade that we just took. Or you can do both, just to have different accounts. This is why Apex is great too. You can have a different Apex account for each strategy, right? You can't trade all of these things. You can't be long, short, whatever. If we took a strategy here, short FBB, and then you're taking reversion on the same account, like that doesn't make sense. So get different accounts, even with your like with the broker, Tradier, that's on here too. And by the way, there's another deal with Tradier. If you go to my website, I got to put it in that flip book. But if you go to Tradier, right here, they have a deal. You get 2 free months. If you put in 10 grand or more in their brokerage, and I'm using them, I've got 10 accounts for 10 different strategies live, and I'm copying them from that trade cop here I showed you from Apex to the live accounts. Because I have all these Apex accounts that I've been building up for months, and so that's why I'm using both, but it doesn't matter. I'm trading through Rhythmic, so I put the trade on Apex and it copies right on the live accounts. Anyway, if you fund these guys and I'm using them myself, you get 2 free months in my trade room. So take advantage of that. Guys, there's just deals everywhere. Take advantage of them, I'm telling you. All right, I gotta take a breath. I forgot where I was going with that. There was some other thing I was going to tell you guys, and I forgot. Hold on, my trade room is tagging me. That's not it. Where are they? let's see. So anyway, that's the rest. There's only 2 days left. This Massey girl and AB. I don't know these guys. Again, I got on a tangent there. I did Austin's awesome. You know, I don't agree with some of the stuff that he's doing as far as some of his guys in his trade room. They take one trade and they're done for the day. Like, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But the guy overall is solid. Go watch him. It's ASFX. I don't really know these other guys, so I can't really speak to them. So she's kind of hot. Don't tell her I said that. Or my wife. Let's see where I'm getting. No, I thought someone was tagging me in my room. All right, let me answer some more questions, and then we only got about 5 minutes left here for the fun that's been Whipsaw City today. But you can see, guys, when it's whipsaw, then the reversions are incredible. When it's trending, you may get run over on the reversions, but you have position trades on, right? And again, if you get the course or if you come in my room on the trading strategy, it is not to try to do every one of these right off the bat. These are mine over 25 years. So pick one or two of them, right? We talked about the Ludwig levels. Just look for slugs and Izzy's, right? We've seen Izzy trades work today. We haven't got a slug yet. But my point is, pick a couple of these, pick one or two of the reversions and get really good at them, profitable, then add one, then add one. And then, you know, down the 6 months to a year, you've got 5 position trading strategies you're doing. Maybe one of the auto fades. We haven't even taken these today. We were jumping right in the middle of the zone. And then maybe one or two of the reversion trades, right? That's what this is meant to be, not to take every single one of them where you're yelling at me that I'm showing you too much and there's too much to digest. All right, a couple questions here and I got to go. Can we find the document with the strategy presented earlier anywhere? Yeah, my trade room. You get a part of my trade room, or if you get the course. Again, guys, the course is half price on the Bookmap Marketplace. Take advantage of it because I don't even really like that that's happening. But, you know, I owe Bookmap my entire trading career these days. So whatever they want me to do, I do because they are. That's why I do these webinars for them, right? It's like if it wasn't for Bookmap, I would be sitting in a doctor's office kissing his ass trying to sell him genetic testing like I did for 5 years when I got knocked out of the game. So what I always tell Bruce is anything for you, Godfather. So if you guys, if you ever seen Godfather, because they're my Godfather, because I would not be trading a limit for them. Let's see. I saw that you were short on Tesla and caught a nice short. Good job, J Money. J Money, hypothetically, place a limit or way above price. Is it something that would pop? If I put a limit order way above or below price, 2,000 contracts, is that something that would pop up on the right panel? I don't understand what you mean. So the heat map is the order book. I don't understand what you mean by that. Active profits. Hey, Scott, your Iceberg trying has been fantastic. Add to my current setups. However, I'm curious how you're trading it. Are your courses on sale as well? Yes, again, I just said it in case you didn't hear me. Go to the Bookmap Marketplace. Everything's half price for the month, not for 2 days, for the month. I can't find it here. So it's in that flip book, right? If you go to that flip book, hold on here. There you go. So if you click on this, so everything's in here you guys need, right? This isn't working. Well, you don't need, you get this anyway as part of my trade room. So I don't think that's working right now. Here's my trade room, by the way. Just click on that. Where's the, oh, yeah, just click on the courses. I'm sorry. Actually, the courses don't bring you to the book map. You got to go to the marketplace here. Just put in my name. They should all pop up. Let's see. Should be under well, both of these. Of course, no products found. Why would that work? Clear as mud. There we go. So these are older courses, guys. This is for stocks. I mean, they're still prevalent, but this is for an ex-partner of mine that I was working with. I mean, it's still prevalent. This is the way he traded it. I don't trade it anymore, but that's why I still leave it on there because it's important stuff. I just don't trade that way. I don't know why it's not showing my stuff though, but it's usually on the front page, right? So if you just go to the front page here, there's the SI indicator course. Here's the zone drawing tool. What was that?
CL long validated.
CL's, I mean, seriously, the thing has been straight up since I missed that trade. When I'm in it, it whipsaws for 14 hours. The trading strategy course is on here too. I don't know why they have it at the bottom, but they do. You got to funnel through here, guys, but they're all on here. The ATR reversion, here you go. Trading strategies course right there. Half price for the best information in the history of the world, in my humble opinion. And then the ATR reversion course is on here too. I don't know why you don't see that on here, but oh, here it is right here. So half price, guys. I'm telling you, take advantage of it. It's kind of stupid, in my opinion. Let's see. Got your answer. Okay. All right, guys. So you just see what I do. I do this in my trade room every day. There's like-minded traders in my trade room as well, and this is the best way to learn. You come in here, and if you come in my room, participate, right? You post what you're seeing, and then even if it's wrong, someone will point it out to you, right? Okay, that's right. You're not going to be made fun of, right? Again, the only time I make fun of you if you point out the same thing 80 times. This was ran off of Mortimer before the crude number yesterday. Beeks must have got it to him right before because someone put on the huge icebergs in there. Anyway, I do this every day. Trade.
Stock by CL.
Oh my God, talk about pain. This market, even when I'm not in it, it drives me crazy. Thank goodness I didn't catch this long down here. Who wants 100 tick winner? All right, so regardless, so something's going on in here too, guys, and you can always tell, not always, but most of the time, if the relative volume is spiking. So that means big money's in here plowing through this market. Right?
According to his official, Trump's is to travel to Pennsylvania on Tuesday. Trump on his trip is to tout inflation focus in Pennsylvania trip.
See right there? You had that, and then it's coming in again. So something's going on down here. You know, there are position trades here too, by the way. I don't know what I'm doing. Other position trades. Right now, this is a breaking away trade. That's balance. That is breaking out. I will take a breaking away long right now. And that's a whopper balance too. Not whopper, but it's going back over a week and a half balance right there. And then you got this balance. It's all fractal. It's breaking out right now with heavy relative volume. That is trading strategy breaking away right here. So I need to go long. I should have already been long the first one, the last stop run that just fired off. Right here. Where's that? Breaking away. Where you're taking a first move out of the zone. Break of a longer term balance area on hourly charts. We just looked at with high relative volume. Where high relative volume chart where trades are taking first move out of the SI event. You have all the conditions right now. Right here, right now. And then as far as an IZZY, so you see this IZZY zone here. So there is an event that if it turns bearish, you can take an IZZY. I don't take IZZYs right in front of balance area breakouts. So it's variation number 1 in the IZZY trade. In the case of a zone that is directly above or below, this is above a balance area, trade can still be taken, but you need the ATR retest confirmed. So I'm not just fading this IZZY zone first move out because I'll get my head kicked in very likely. So I should have been taking this breaking away off of this stuff. That was 59.80. Let's see. Yeah, that sucks. How many trades can I miss in this damn market? I seriously, this market drives me crazy. Anyway, it's my own fault. I got to take responsibility. I just didn't see it. But it's like when I miss trades, they are just whoppers. Anyway, that was the breaking away entry right there. It's only 20 ticks. Comes back. You can still take it off of these, but that sucks. Missed that too. And you can take reversions here. Do not, but not off. I would not take this one. Yes, you get, and the more GEX levels you have, the more powerful it is, obviously. It is probably going to come back, but with heavy relative volume, you don't want to be hoping the dealer's hedging is going to push it back when the big money is in here crushing it. That's why watch the relative volume. So I'm not taking this reversion. Doesn't mean it won't work, but I'm not taking it. If it comes back, I will take, I'm not going to chase this. If this comes back to where my entry was right here, I will take the, what's great about this too, is if I do take this breaking away off of that where I should have, here's your new event. I can get in right here. If this comes back, especially with a price change, that would be great. And you can stop out right there. I move it below there, but you're always trailing your stop to the most recent event. All right. That was a quick review of the most annoying market on the planet. And caught the reversion trades in here. I'm not putting on any more. I am long NASDAQ IZZY. I'm not putting any more trades this time of day unless I see 150% more volume, relative volume. I'm telling you guys, it will save yourself many, many hours of pain and profit taking away if you don't trade during those hours. All right, that's it. I do this every day for my trade room. Come on by. I will see you guys next Thursday. Thank you.